So, you need to open your book to page 113. Everybody needs to be on page 113. All we're doing today is reviewing, and then we will be doing review questions that are not in your book. If you don't have a book, you need to be writing down some of these questions and answering them on a piece of paper so you have them to study. Because you need to have something to study off of for your test. Braxton, you got a piece of paper? You need to have a piece of paper. You gotta have to be able to take notes today. Okay, so look at page 113. It says that, okay, we're reviewing the stories that we've just done recently up until right now. Clay, don't be using the chat like that anymore. You understand me? There's like a lot of letters in there. Did you do that? You don't know? Okay, just don't use it unless you have a question, okay? I don't know why there's so much letters in the chat. I don't know. There's like a lot of letters. Just be careful and not just be careful.
Maybe he
That's all I'm
pushed on,
saying. Okay?
maybe he pushed on the keyboard or something.
Yeah, you might have pushed on the keyboard because there's like a ton of letters inside the chat. So guys, just be careful. Don't use the chat unless you have a question. Okay, so look at page 113. We're answering the questions here. All of you should be able to answer all these questions. So it says, answer the questions and summarize the account of the snake lifted in the wilderness. So remember the snake that they lifted up. So we're going to talk about what happened in the beginning, middle, and end of the part of when we did that part of the Bible story. So why did God even send the poisonous snake? Does anyone remember? Why did he have to send that poisonous snake? What were the Israelites doing? That they were doing it a lot. They kept on doing what? Jessica?
Disobeying.
Well, they were disobeying, but they were doing something very specific in disobeying. Jasmine?
Complaining.
Complaining, yes. So this is specifically what you need to write. They were complaining and they were accusing God and Moses. They were complaining and accusing God and Moses of doing wrong. So remember, they were complaining that Moses and God made a mistake. So that's what they were doing. They were out there complaining, which we weren't surprised by, right? But what they were doing is complaining and accusing God and Moses of doing wrong. You let us out here. We would have been better in Egypt. We're going to die out here. They were upset, right? So that's what they were doing. They were saying, God, you let us out here. Moses, you let us out here. They were complaining about God and Moses. God and Moses, both of them. They were complaining about God and Moses. That's what they did wrong. That's why God sent the poisonous snake. Okay, now the middle of the story, what did God provide through Moses to prevent death? What did he tell him to do so that everyone wouldn't die? He made a way so everyone wouldn't die. Val?
Set a metal snake on a pole and they have to look up at the snake.
Very good. He put the snake on he raised the snake up it was a bronze snake on a pole, and if they looked at it, they wouldn't die. So he put a snake on a pole, and if they look at it, they won't die. Okay, that's what he did. He made a way for people to not die by looking at this bronze snake. Okay, if they looked at it. So Braxton, just write part 2. If they look at a bronze snake on a pole, they don't die. Braxton, you can hear me, right? Yes? Okay, so just write that part 2. So they look at this bronze snake on a pole, they don't die. Okay? Chloe, I'm trying to come to you. Hold on. Yes, Chloe?
Do we write that on a piece of paper?
No, you write it in your book. We're on page 113. Braxton doesn't have a book, so that's why he's writing on a piece of paper. Kansky, if you don't have a book, you need to be writing this on a piece of paper as well. Everyone else has a book. I'm just talking to the people that don't have a book. Those are the people writing this on a piece of paper. Okay, Chloe? Otherwise, you do it in your book, all right? Okay. Number 3. Which Israelites were healed? Which Israelites were healed? Sabrina?
The ones who believed in God's promises and looked at the snake.
Very good. That's an excellent answer. The ones that believed in God's promises and had faith to look at the snake, those are the ones that are healed. The ones that believed in God's promises and had faith to look at the snake, those are the ones that were healed. They had to have they believed in God's promises, so they believed and they looked at the snake. Addison?
Do you want us to write part 1 and part 2?
The beginning and middle?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we already went over it. Yes. Yeah. Do you remember what we said? Do you remember what happened in the beginning and middle?
I wrote in it, but I didn't know if you wanted us to write part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. Right. All 3 parts. Yes.
But did you word?
What?
Did you want us to write the word part 1 and part 2?
No.
Oh.
Just write what happened. You don't have to write part 1, part 2. But if you did, it's fine, but you don't have to. Okay? All right. Let's go down to the answers at the bottom of the page now. Number 4, which book of the Bible gives the account of the second giving of the 10 Commandments? Where were we reading from this week? Lily, I'm trying to unmute you. Unmute yourself. There you go. Deuteronomy, very good. Deuteronomy is where we were. Deuteronomy gives the second account. Number 5, what is the account of the Israelites and the poisonous snakes a picture of? What did I tell you it was a picture of? It points us to who? Why did they look up at that snake on a pole? What does it show you? Jocelyn?
Faith in God's provision of Jesus Christ will have us saved from eternal death.
Very good. Exactly. It was supposed to be a picture of you looking at Jesus, right? And how he'll save us from eternal death. It's supposed to be, it wasn't really ever about the snakes healing the people. It was always supposed to point us to Jesus. Have you noticed a lot of things in the Bible, in the Old Testament, have pointed us right to Jesus? A lot of things, right? It's not really about what's happening. It's all about Jesus. Number 6, how are all people today similar to all of the people that complained about Moses and God? Autumn?
They are all sinners.
Good. Everybody's a sinner today, and all of them were sinners then. Are all people going to be a sinner in 1,000 years? Do you think they'll find a cure for sin? No. Everybody's going to keep sinning, right? That sin is never going to leave, and Jesus is the only cure. But it's only when you're in heaven that you are free from sin. On earth, you will always sin. But Jesus forgives you, and that's the only way that we can walk is through Jesus. What is necessary for salvation? Colin?
Faith in God's ability to keep his promises.
Very good. All right, go to page 114. Number 8. What do God's children experience when they disobey his commands? Clay? Number 8.
Curses.
Curses, yes. So whenever you disobey, you do receive curses. That's like your punishment, right? You receive punishment. All right, number 9. This is going into our recent story of Balak and Balaam. Remember? Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam. Gianna likes that one. What did Balak want Balaam to do, Gianna?
Curse the people of Israel.
Curse the people of Israel. He said, you need to come over here and curse them. What did God tell Balaam to say about Israel? What did he actually tell him to say? They're all thinking. What did he actually tell him to say? Cherith?
I didn't ask for the answer. I'm just don't know what page we are on.
114. Number 10. Jacob M. What did Balaam say about Israel? Did he curse the people? What did he actually say?
Only what he told him to say.
Yeah, only what God told him to say, right? He wasn't allowed to say anything other than what God said out of his mouth. Only what he told him to say. He wasn't allowed to say anything other than what God said out of his mouth. So only what he was told to say. Only what he told him to say. Number 11. Why could Balaam not curse Israel? Gabby?
God's promise to bless Israel with land, seed, and blessing could not be changed.
Very good. God's blessing of land, he promised Abraham land, seed, and blessing. So that could not be changed. So nobody can take away that blessing. Not even Balaam, the prophet that curses people can do it. Nobody. Number 12. What did Balaam say would come from Israel? What were the 2 things he said would come from Israel? Caleb? I can't hear you.
A star and scepter.
Very good. A star and scepter. A star and scepter. Number 13. Through whom will the blessing promised to Abraham come? Where does the blessing come through? What family line? It comes through where? Ian?
Jesus.
Jesus. Very good. Jesus Christ is where the blessing comes from. All right, at the bottom of the page, there's a word bank and some sentences. Let's fill those in real quick. Some people probably have it done, but some people need to still do it. All right, so children are commanded to blank and obey their parents. What are you supposed to do in the Bible? This is part of the 10 Commandments. Children are to blank and obey their parents. Cherith?
Obey. Honor.
Honor, yes. Honor and obey your parents. Honor and obey. Number 15, children are to obey their parents in the who?
What? Oh, you want to drink?
Lily?
Law.
Not the law. You're in the, it's a person.
Lord.
Lord, yes, in the Lord. Two more. Number 16, God promises it will be blank with children who obey their parents this way. How is it going to be for you when you obey your mom and dad? Gianna?
Well,
Well, very good. It's going to be well. And last one. God also promises long what? On the earth to children who obey their parents this way. Clay?
long life.
Life. You will have long life on the earth if you obey your parents this way. Okay, Scarlett, you said you need number 8. I think, right? Did you want number 8?
I think it was.
Scarlett, it was curses. And number 9 was curse the people of Israel.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to be done for now.